I got to tell you, man. Boom, that just gets better and better every time I hear it. Welcome, everybody, to another round of Ray's Boom Boom Room. I'm your host, Ray Mancini. Here, my ace corner man, cut man, Mike Case. Don't do the way Mike does this.
I like to say hi.
Enough with that.
But then it's too girly for that.
You don't like
it.
little,
I don't like it.
little on the, yeah.
Sorry. I'm not doing the wave.
Yeah.
I've been done the wave in several weeks.
My corner man, he's giving me corner man the wave. And Mike, and we got a very special guest today. I'm just talking before we came on the air. I'm so excited because we had a lot of discussion, a lot of things I like to talk to him about. And what I admire most is my man said, I'm an open book. And I know a little bit about his career. I don't know a whole lot. I'm going to find out more and more. I'm know more from my son. My son gave me indoctrinated me about your career.
Yeah.
So anyhow, but no further ado. Is that what they say? No further.
Yeah, well, you got it.
Yeah,
you got
no
it.
further ado. From Warren, Ohio, originally.
Yes, sir.
Ohio State grad, Buckeye.
Did you graduate?
I
Yeah, I
said.
Did you? Okay.
I realized what I said.
No,
I
that's
said,
fine.
well, we said, he's
why we
a
asked.
grad, no matter what. He
went
graduated.
there.
In my mind, he graduated.
Right,
He
right.
graduated in the bigs.
Right.
He graduated in the big leagues. How's that?
That's true.
Oh, God.
I like that.
Dan Boom Herron.
Yes, sir.
See, we got a lot of booms on this show today.
Yes,
Dan
sir.
Boom Herron. And Dan, such a pleasure to have you. Honestly,
Man,
God. Thank you.
honestly,
Thank you.
when your guys reached out to me, I was honored because it was like, man, I get to go on Boom Boom show,
I
man.
appreciate
It's a big deal for me.
Thank
So
you. That's very kind of you.
thanks for having me.
thank
Thanks for
you for
having me,
being
both of you guys.
Oh, no problem.
And
Yeah.
so Mike's going to take keys because Mike does the interviewing because that's his forte. I just kind of set everything up. But
But you know
I
some
said,
stuff.
well, yeah. Well, I remember my son. I told my son what happened, and I said, he said, "Well, Bob, you know?" I said, "Well, I know Ohio State grad. I remember, but I couldn't remember the exact years." I said it was earlier mid 2000s, but it was actually towards the end of the 2010 area.
Kind of right in the middle, right?
2007
2000, okay.
to 2011.
Okay.
There you go.
And I said, but I knew, my son said to me, he said, Pop, I know, did he play with Andrew Luck? I said, well, I know he played with the Colts.
I
But I
did,
think,
yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah,
He
See,
was
I
there.
wasn't sure.
Yeah.
But I said, I know he played with the Colts. But I said, I thought you got drafted by Cincinnati first.
I did.
And I was right.
Yeah,
I was right.
yeah,
He said,
yeah.
Bob, he said, I'm not sure which, because I know he played Cincinnati and the Colts, but I wasn't sure which way it went.
Yeah.
So you were drafted by
I got drafted. I got drafted to the Cincinnati Bengals in 2012. I played 1 year there, played 3 years with the Colts, and 1 year with the Buffalo Bills.
Did you ever play for the Bengals? Did you ever get on the field, or was it just practice squad stuff?
Yeah, actually, it was crazy because my first year, I had a little injury, a leg injury, so they, I don't know why I want to say red shirted, but I was on the practice squad
Yeah.
for like the first 6 or 8 games, and then once everything got back together, I was put on the active roster. I played mostly special teams. Got a couple carries, towards the end of the games. But the second year I came, they drafted 2 running backs, and so I was like, I had a great preseason.
Really?
I scored a couple of touchdowns, had some big games, played good on special teams, and then they ended up cutting me my second year, but they ended up bringing me back on practice squad.
Right.
So I was there for 2 weeks. The Colts came and signed me to the active roster week 3. So I go to the Colts. I played that whole year. I got hurt. I tore my pec. I can't remember if it was my first year with the Colts or the second year. But one of those years I tore my pec where I was out the whole year. So the next year I had to come back to training camp, and I had to basically prove myself all over again.
Mm-hmm.
So then that was the year where we had Trent Richardson, Ahmad Bradshaw, myself, Vic Ballard. Like we were pretty stacked in the backfield, and it was kind of like my college career. It was like I was at the bottom of the depth chart, and I fought my way up basically.
Well, they were really searching for a running back at that time, and
Yeah.
Richardson
Yeah.
kind of didn't really work out the way they thought he was going to work out
Right.
after that trade with the Browns.
Right.
So they were giving guys chances.
Yeah.
And that's where you had your chance, right?
Yeah. Basically, what happened was, I was known, obviously in the NFL for playing a lot of special teams. I was a big time. I always said I wanted to make it to the Pro Bowl playing special teams. But then I got an opportunity to start playing some running back when, like you said, they were kind of searching for a guy to step up to the plate. And a couple opportunities started happening. I think it was 2014. The last 3 games of the year, I ended up starting. I played well. We go into the playoffs, and we make it all the way to the AFC Championship game.
Right.
That was actually the deflate game against the Patriots. We ended up losing that game, and I always say, man, I was one game from going to the Super Bowl. But my pro career, man, it was just I had my ups and downs, but I think I had a great career. I mean, obviously injuries kind of shortened my career, but I lived my dream that I wanted to play. I wanted to play in the NFL, and it was a dream come true for me.
And you lived more than most people do.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Everyone has dream. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
When you're in high school, like I used to tell my kids, if you got to have dreams, man, you got to dream big. You got to, because I dreamed of being a fighter, and I dreamed of, I tell people when they used to say to me, "Do you actually think you'd be a champion?" I said, "Yeah, man."
Yeah.
Because I used to dream.
And they probably looked at you crazy.
Yeah, I said I used to dream about when I was 10 years old. I used to have these dreams, me carrying the belt over my head. And that's the God's truth. And then, of course, when you tell somebody, what are you going to be when you go, I want to be a fighter world champion for my father. Oh, that's cute. They don't, until you just, but you believe it. And only when you, and I always tell my kids, only 2 people got to believe it. You, yourself, and God. Only 2 people got to believe it. Nobody else has to believe in you. It's nice when you do get that affirmation from somebody else, but you don't need it.
Yeah.
As long as you believe it.
Yeah.
But my father and mother believed in me as much as I had wonderful parents who believed in me, supported me that way. But I went to Cardinal Mooney.
Yeah.
Right, like Warren Harding, State Powerhouse football.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of
Did
course.
you play football?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
My freshman year, I broke the freshman record for running back. I was just a tailback.
Oh yeah.
Going into my sophomore year, I started JV, tailback.
Uh-huh.
Played nickelback defense and special teams.
Okay.
Go in there. Now, play with Bobby Stoops. Bobby was a year older than me. Mike's a year younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
Bo played. I played with his brother John.
Okay.
And Vince was his brother. Vince was a little older. So I played with. We had a lot of good football players. Of course, great, wonderful program.
Right.
Going into my junior year, the 2 senior tailbacks that day was Joe Croft. Joe went to Southern Illinois, I believe, and then Clinton Longmire. They're both seniors were left. So I was slated as a starting tailback going into junior year.
Yeah.
Going in. So now we're practicing. So I'm going to practice early on, practice doing all the practices. And before we hit double sessions, the reason I'm saying that is because June, July, I'm going through the grind. And I know, I always want to be a fighter. I knew that's all I wanted to be.
Right.
And I'm playing football because I love football. Northeastern Ohio, Western PA.
That's right.
But I knew I wanted to be a football player. So a boxer. And going through football, you train. And the end of the season is like November, December. If you get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So now the Golden Gloves are in January. So I'm only got like a month to train, month and a half. So I used to try to do double, like I'd go to football practice, come home and hit the bag and stuff like that. So it takes a toll on your body.
And double sessions back then.
Totally.
7 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon,
and I
right?
said, before I do double sessions, I'm committed. I have to decide. Because I know my heart and my mind, I want to play, but I get a call into Coach Bushey's office. Don Bushey, Coach. He said, Ray, he says, I was a puck 32. Because I believed at that time I wasn't the size of a dog in a fight, but fighting a dog, right?
Exactly.
Teach all that stuff. I didn't believe that. And I was fighting 132 pounds and Golden Gloves. He said, Ray, you got to hit the weights.
Yeah.
He said, Ray, you got to hit the weights. I go, hit the weight. I got to make weight. I can't. So
right, yeah.
I said, well, and I said, I walked in his office, Mr. Butchie, I'm going to give up football, focus on boxing. And it has become a little famous story about in Ron Mooney, and it's kind of taken a life of its own. And who told the story? It was Mr. Butchie. Every coach now wants to take the story.
Yeah.
And he told me, and I said, no, Mr. Butchie, I'm going to concentrate on fighting. Be a fighter. Be a fighter. What about you? Well, you can't go nowhere as a fighter. You can't. No, you ain't gonna go nowhere. I can get you a call. I get you a scholarship. Not a big college, but a small college.
Yeah.
But you out of your mind. You get punched drunk and all this. I said, well,
motivation.
I said, I'm gonna. What you just said. I said, well, I'm not. That's what I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be a fighter. Now, I tell the story because later on, when I got inducted in my high school Hall of Fame, now, Mr. Butch, I got nothing but love for you, but. He was sitting there, and I'm telling the story, and everyone's laughing. He's laughing, but I had that surge inside. I have still that feeling in my. I said, Mr. Butchie, I don't do nothing small.
Yeah.
I walk big, I talk big, I live big. you just said it was motivation. Because some of the guys at that age, and I try to teach my kids, when you're, first of all, it's a very important time in your life as a high school kid. Guys can make you and break. Coaches can make you and break you.
That's true.
And I used to tell that
True.
to my, that's another story. One of my son's high school coaches, I finally had it out with him. I said, you're supposed to be a maker man, not a breaker man.
He told Tressa that story.
Oh, yeah. And I told him, you're supposed to be a maker man, not a breaker man.
Yeah.
You break this kid's spirit.
Oh, yeah.
You can't break my kid.
Right.
That's what bothers you. You can't break him.
Yeah.
Because he's got more character than you. All you know,
Yeah.
your coaching staff put together. Oh, I called him. So I'll tell you that story afterwards. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Anyhow, but that's right there. So what I'm saying is, and Mr. Stoops. I always tell people, and I love Mr. Yeah, I grew up with the Stoops brothers. They lived next street over. But Mr. Stoops, I'll never forget. One day it was a period where I didn't have study hall, so I would go and work out in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
He'd say, Ray, so you're gonna focus on fighting, huh? I said, yes, sir. He says. I said, yes, sir, Mr. Butchie, because Mr. Stoops. Yes, sir, Mr. I'm gonna be a world champion someday. When you go and get that title and you bring it home and make us proud. Yes, sir. And that was everything. People don't understand how important that is, man. For a young kid to get that affirmation from somebody.
It's all it takes sometimes.
All it takes is one person
That's
to
right.
believe in you. And,
Other than yourself. Because you're the most important. I
Yeah.
kept telling my kids, nobody needs to believe it but yourself. But it's nice to get that.
Exactly.
And I know what you say.
Yeah.
I got it from my parents. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't get it from me. I got it
Exactly.
from my parents.
Yeah.
And I tell my kids, all you need to believe is you're in yourself. Only two people, you and God. God believes you believe in God. God believes in you. You believe in yourself. Period.
Yeah.
Nice to get others, but if you don't need nobody else. And that was the kind of motivation to go improve it. So, and that's true. So when I gave it up, but that was very difficult, to watch your guys you graduate and guys you were playing with all your years, from Pop Warner through,
Yeah.
But it was anyhow, you obviously made the right decision.
Yeah.
But then you see, high schools, because a lot of these guys, see here, I went to private school, so you play every sport.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to a public high school, now my sons went to Santa Monica High School, which is a very big high school. They tell you the freshman year, play every sport. Why don't you play every sport?
Yeah.
Sophomore year, pick one.
Ah.
After sophomore year, I want to pick
Right.
one.
Yeah.
Did you play any other sports?
I played basketball and I ran track.
Okay.
I only played basketball my freshman, my sophomore year, and then my running back coach in high school was like, all right, now you gotta make a decision. You're 5'9.5" and you're playing forward. Like,
Right.
what's going
For
on?
a Division I
Hops, I got
basketball
hops.
team.
Right.
Handle the rock, baby.
So I gave it up after my sophomore year. Even though I ended up winning in my freshman year, I won MVP. I was pretty good. It was just one of those things. I stopped growing in 8th grade. I've been the same height since 8th grade.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you have a coach or someone that either believed in you or kind of motivated you by not believing?
I'm sure, without knowing, I bet you could be a smaller guy on the spectrum and being a running back, because I was always tempted. There's numerous people telling you can't.
How many times did you have huge shoes to fill in your career? Right? Starting at Harding.
Yeah.
I mean, when you follow Clarett.
I think that was like the biggest kind of like motivation for me, was I had older guys to look up to. I mean, obviously before me, there were so many great, players that came from Harding. Right. So it was like I kind of wanted to follow in the footsteps. Mm-hmm. Watching Reese. I was in 8th grade and I was a water boy for Harding at the time, so I was able to watch him practice every single day. Go to all the games and watch how they got it done. And I watched every little thing from the way he tied his shoes to the way that he practiced, the way he put his everything, every little detail, because it was like I wanted to be just like him. I seen the way that he can take over a game. I seen the way that the people, the fans would come out and watch him, because he was the greatest, running back, greatest running back to probably come through Harding. So it was one of those things where I had a lot of motivation. But like you said, I also had a lot of people who were like, you're too small, you're too slow, you can't do this, you can't do that. Why would you go to Ohio State? And it was like he said, it was a motivation thing for me. Mm-hmm. I seen guys before me go and handle their business, but I also wanted to be that guy that was from small Warren, Ohio, that could, also put his city on the map and prove everybody wrong. I mean, that was my big thing. do it for my family, do it for myself, and do it for my city. You know?
Why did you go to Ohio State? I mean, I'm sure you had other offers. Was it because Maurice went there?
Honestly,
A lot of Harding guys were going to Michigan at the time too.
And I don't tell a lot of people this, but you know, I'm very open about everything. I grew up a Michigan fan as a kid.
Because
I mean, my cousin Alfie Birch, he went to Michigan. My cousin Prescott Burgess, he went to Michigan. My friend Mario Manningham, he went to Michigan.
That's right.
We had a whole pipeline.
Sure.
Carl Diggs, all these guys going to Michigan. So as a kid growing up, you know, I think I was 6 years old, and my parents took me up. Obviously, we went up there to watch a Michigan game when my cousin was playing there back in the 80s. But it really came down to I was at so I'll tell this story. So my sophomore year was kind of like when everything started happening. It started booming for me because you know, I was getting a lot of recognition. I was getting a lot of letters from schools and everything. So I had got invited to junior day at Michigan. So that's when all the top juniors in the country they come to a camp and
what a thrill!
Yeah, oh yeah, it was a big time thing. So I go there. I have a great camp. At the time, Lloyd Carr was the head coach.
Okay, right.
I met with Lloyd Carr, so I'm thinking, you know, we're gonna have this meeting and he's gonna offer me a scholarship. So we have a meeting, and we sitting there, and he's telling me, you know, we like you a lot. We got 3 other guys that we're looking at. You're like one of our top 5 guys. We're gonna watch your first 3 games, and then we're gonna make a decision after that. So
How many would they have taken?
I think they were only taking 1 guy
Out of the 5.
Yeah, I think so. So I was like, all right. So I was a little bummed out, you know, because I was like, you know, I kind of wanted to get that scholarship.
Yeah.
Because I had to start getting all the scholarships. My first scholarship ever was to Boston College. In my mind, I'm like, where the heck is Boston College at? But in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to Boston College.
Uh-huh.
You know, because it's like, they offered me my sophomore year.
Wow.
But back to the story. So I leave Michigan. I'm going to Ohio State the next weekend.
Do they have like a junior day too?
Same thing.
Okay.
Junior day, top guys. I go to the camp, have a great camp. I talked to Tress for like a little bit, you know, after, but we didn't have like a sit down like we did with Lloyd. So we're leaving. I'm upset. You know, I'm with Coach McDaniels and my running back, Coach Richardson, and we're in the car. I get a text message from Coach Tressel. So the text message told me basically saying like, you know, you had a great camp today. We're gonna offer you a full scholarship. That was the next weekend. On Monday, Michigan called me and say you got a full scholarship.
So you never got to see you play in any of the games?
None of the games that they
because they found out.
So they seen that Ohio State offered me, so they was like, well, we got to jump on it because if you look at Ohio State and the Michigan recruiting game, they always kind of go off, you know, who the top guy is, or if all right, if we can't get this guy, then we're gonna get him, or you know what I'm saying. So
yeah.
they're always
especially in this region.
Especially. So I finally took like my official visit to Ohio State. I got to be around Coach Tressel, and at that time Ohio State we were ranked number 1. Michigan was ranked number 2.
Oh, that game was crazy.
I got to be around like that whole like all the energy and all the vibes. Like it was just everything was just right. So, you know, I was thinking to myself like, you know, should I go here? You know, because I want to play. You know. And I'm looking at the situation. You know, they got at the time Antonio Pittman was still there. Mm-hmm. So Antonio Pittman was the starting running back. Beanie Wells was the backup running back. They had Maurice Wells still there, and at the same time, I knew Brandon Sane had already committed, he was Mr. Football in
the
Ohio,
state of Ohio.
In the state of Ohio. So in my mind, I'm like, you know, do I really want to go here? You know.
So at this time, you don't care who you like more as a fan. Now you're starting to think, how am I going to better my career?
How I'm going to better my career. And then I kind of lost, not say lost respect for Michigan, but it was kind of like, it was kind of like, well, y'all just told me one thing, but you did a different thing. So y'all could be telling me that I'm going to come there and start week 1, and then I never even step on the field. So my mindset, it was just like I
Or
didn't
like,
really trust
you
them.
didn't want me, but now that they want me, you want me.
Exactly.
That kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So finally, it really came down to I already knew it. I was either. I remember I told the media people that I wanted to play in the Big Ten, and I had like all these SEC schools recruit me and everything. And so when I made that comment, I mean that statement, then a lot of schools kind of like, well, if you want to go to a Big Ten school, then we're not even going to recruit you.
Oh, you missed out on all those visits.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
I will say this: if I could do it all over again, I
Uh-huh.
would take advantage of going on a visit.
Yes.
And I think every kid that's in that process of getting recruited, take advantage and take all your visits, even if you know where you're going to school at. Just be able to go out there and see different schools, different campuses, and just different things.
Sure.
And, a lot of kids, especially kids from around this area, they really don't even get to see outside of Ohio or anywhere until they go to the next level or to college or to the pros, whatever. So that's my advice to any kid. I mean, obviously you're gonna fall in love with the school, and you got to make sure it's the right situation for you. But like you said, man, take those visits. But what really made me commit to Ohio State was I felt comfortable. I felt like it was the right move for me. And as I've gotten older now to this age, I like to tell kids nowadays, going to Ohio State is way bigger than just playing football. You build a relationship with a great university, and the connections that you make while you're at Ohio State is unbelievable. It's things that can happen where you could set yourself up for life, you could set your kids up for life. It's just and then being from Ohio, I wanted to be a part of that great tradition of going to Ohio State, man, because it was the best 5 years of my life playing at Ohio State, and that's what really kind of made me go there, because I felt comfortable, and I knew it was gonna be a challenge. I was always a kid that I loved challenges. I knew that it was gonna be. I knew it wasn't just gonna be a walk in the park where I got there and I was just gonna be playing. Obviously, I wanted to play, but I always like to work for what I get in life. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's how my coach. He taught me, and he told me. When you
Coach
get there,
McDaniels?
yeah, Coach McDaniels, and
He's the best. One of the best.
Oh man, he helped me out so much. In the recruiting process, in my whole high school career. And, it's crazy how you don't realize stuff until you get older. It's kind of like when your dad's telling you something when you're younger and you're like, whatever. And then you get older and you be like, man, that's what my dad was trying to tell me. It's kind of one of those things. Like Coach McD used to be so hard on me and so tough on me that I didn't understand it until I got older, because he really wanted me. He was helping me to become a great player. A great man. It was more than just football. He wanted us to be a great man, a respectful man, and a person that young kids could look up to.
It's a man of character.
A man of character, exactly.
And that's what I said. Coaches, high school coaches, have such an impact on kids.
Absolutely.
Because I tell you, I have a friend of mine, child psychologist. He told me, Raymond, you lose them at 14, you get them back at 18, meaning your high school years. You lose them because they're more impacted and more influenced by their friends, peers, and coaches and teachers than they are by you and your parents.
And now today's world, they got all this social media and all this other stuff, man. You really got to be on these kids, man, because they can get lost.
Oh yeah.
Did it? Since Maurice was one of your idols, did it break your heart when things started to go south for him? How did you take that?
Yeah, I mean, I was. It did.
I mean, it's got to hit you harder than the normal newscaster or the normal fan. When you're looking up to him every day.
Yeah, that's it was tough for me. And I remember he had like a little blog that you could write on, but he couldn't respond, but he could see what people were writing to him, man. I used to just get on there and write him, man, because I just wanted to make sure he was all right, because I knew Reese was a great guy, a hard worker, and people make mistakes. People have situations that they're going through that, some of us may never even know, but they're fighting something inside and they just don't get help. So I think he had one of those situations where he just had a lot going on. He made a mistake, made a bad decision. But what I like about what he has going on now, man, he really turned it all around. He did a 360 because he could have been one of those guys that, he went to prison, got out of prison, and then fell off the earth.
Of course.
But he turned it around where it's like now he's helping people. He's helping people now where they're not, taking the steps of going in the direction that he went, So, but did it hurt me? Of course. I mean, whenever your idol is a guy that you look up to, something bad happens to them, it kind of always breaks you down. But I knew the type of person that he was, and I already knew, once he got back up on his feet, that he would turn it all back around.
Mike, I told you I never got to see him play because I was away during the time. But everyone I said, because when I was growing up, again, a little before me from Cardinal Mooney, Ted Bell, considered the greatest high school running back ever out there. They said the only one that was up there with him was Maurice.
Oh, yeah.
And they said he was a man amongst boys.
It's true.
I mean,
even in college. I mean, when you're a freshman in college and you're the number one pick for the spring game and you haven't even played a game yet for Ohio State, you're up here.
No.
Yeah.
And that's what he did.
Yeah, that guy, like you said, he was a man amongst boys. I mean, even size-wise. I mean, Reese was 6 foot, 225 pounds in high school. I mean, that was like it's just a man amongst boys, man.
Well, guys, I can only imagine these sophomore guys are trying bouncing off their
legs that were just, I mean, as big as yours, maybe a little bigger.
No, Reese was
crazy.
Reese was
crazy athlete.
Reese was 2 times bigger than me.
Could do anything.
Oh yeah,
could do anything.
Catch the ball, catch it, carry it, block. He could do everything. I mean, I seen him literally have. I think the guy had 300 yards in the first half of a game.
Oh yeah.
It was against St. Ed's.
That one St. Ed's game at Fawcett.
First
half.
First half. It was
we ended up with 500.
It was 42-6 at halftime, wasn't it?
Stupid numbers.
500
in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Not like
this playoff game.
Wasn't
we playing
against
St. Ed's.
Matthews.
Wow.
Down the street.
Wow.
Undefeated.
Crazy good. Crazy good game too.
Crazy good game.
What's a college visit like? I mean, what are they? It's got to be so cool to be on a. Do you go by yourself? Or are you with other recruits?
Oh no!
Or how's it work when you go on a college visit?
So when I went on mine, obviously I had my my parents with me. I had my parents with me, and then you're with other players, and their family. So it's kind of like a big family reunion type thing, and but they're showing you around. You're going to be meeting with all the coaches, and then there's going to be a time when you're going to be able to meet with some players. You might go out, go hang out, or do whatever you do, and it's just a good time. Then you're going to go to a game. If it's during the season, you're going to go to a game. You're going to be able to walk on the sidelines, meet all the players. It's a real cool experience. I mean, that's when I was in high school. Now it's like recruiting is like to a whole nother level, man. They with all like we said with all the social media stuff, these guys get treated like they're about to sign a $1 million contract.
I know.
It's
I mean,
crazy.
you get steak dinners and all that stuff.
You eat like a champ.
Do you?
Well, there you go. But see, that's the thing I say about the NCAA. I've said this repeatedly: the most Ku Klux organization there is. I've said that repeatedly.
I
said you can't be. You get a kid now. So you get a good upbringing, good parents being with you. A lot of these kids come from I know being out there, guys are being recruited to USC and stuff. Come from nothing. They come from nothing. Yeah. So you buy them a ham sandwich.
You get in trouble.
And you get in trouble.
Right.
And they accept it, or they get to buy them a hamburger and they accept it. You get in trouble. I mean, it just boggles my mind that these guys, these old Ku Kluxers, pimp off these kids, and their talent, they put this go, and yet they don't even give them a stipend to go buy a ham sandwich. I mean, it's really so obviously it's changing now. Obviously, they're talking about
they're trying.
You got to.
If it ever
Mike, it's going to go on.
I hope it changes.
What was the joke when Eric Dickerson signed his rookie contract?
Yeah.
he said he took a he said he took a pay
Took
cut.
a pay cut to be on the Rams.
When he signed his from SMU.
From SMU, yeah.
Because he was getting paid. The guys come from Texas. First of all, them Texas and Oklahoma. When that's the only that's the NFL team. These guys. You get these supporters or
The
what do you call it?
boosters.
Boosters. That's the word.
Get them handshakes.
Yes.
And what was what did you do wrong? What was the official thing that you did wrong?
So ours was a tattoo gate thing, but it was way more.
It was more than that.
It was
right?
way more than that. We had a guy, so he would want to buy, memorabilia, so jerseys, game pants, cleats, helmets, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? We had a guy that was really, but thing was the guy owned the tattoo shop.
Okay.
So
that's why they call it that.
Well,
or getting tattoos too?
Guys were going to get tattoos.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
for exchange for the equipment.
Oh no, some guys were just getting it for free because the guy was just a huge.
Right, but I'm saying is, give me
But-
the money.
oh,
Give me the
yeah.
money,
Oh, yeah.
and I do that.
Free tattoos
So-
not bad.
Give me the money.
yeah,
Well,
but-
if you're a kid, I guess when you're in college, give me the free tattoos. Yeah.
Exactly, but when you're 17, 18 years old and somebody's offering you, a couple grand for a game jersey,
Of course.
and like you said, even if you come from a background where
2000 in college,
How could you not?
you do okay with
hey,
that.
I don't care if you might be rich. If somebody say, hey, I'm gonna give you $2,000 for a jersey, which is in our minds, it's like it's ours,
Right.
We wear it.
Do you just like take it out of your locker?
Well,
Or you sneak in the back and grab one? Or
no,
how does it
I
work?
mean, at the end of the year, when I was in school, at the end of the year, they gave you your
Oh, really?
your game jerseys.
So then you have 4 or 5 of them sitting there. Who cares if one of them?
So I'll share my story how my situation happened because, like I said, I'm an open book. When mine happened, my freshman year, I wore number 2.
That's right.
The rest of my career, I wore 1.
Right.
So I had this number 2 jersey just laying around. So I'm like, well, I don't want this, So I got rid of it. Obviously.
Is it the red one?
It was
The scarlet,
if
you will?
Yep.
Okay.
It was the red one, so I got rid of it, and then obviously,
How much you get for it?
couple grand. Yeah.
Cash?
Oh yeah, everything's cash.
Just checking.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Okay.
I'm picturing it.
Come on now, you know it got to be
Picturing it.
cash. Yeah.
Clarifying for the audience.
Yeah.
I tell people, that people when you get paid
All right.
cash, it's double. You double the cash.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
that's
What are the gold pants?
So the gold pants is when you beat Michigan, you get a little.
It's like a little metal thing, right? Yeah, like a charm.
It's a charm.
Are they
And
pants?
They are pants. You should tell me. I would have brought mine. I would have brought all my. I still got all my rings.
Oh, I would have offered you a few bucks for that.
Oh no, you ain't getting that. That's one thing. They try to say, a lot of guys sold their rings. I got all of my rings. My dad, none of my rings fit my fingers because I got all my rings made so my dad could wear them.
Oh,
I never been a guy that really wanted to wear.
And they're what? Big Ten rings?
I got
bowl championship rings?
Yeah,
What?
I got 4 Big Ten championship rings. I got a Rose Bowl championship ring. I got a Sugar Bowl championship ring.
Arkansas.
Yeah, that's what. So I got 4. I got 6 rings.
So the gold pants are.
The gold pants are a little pair of pants. They're all gold. It's real gold. My mom actually, I have 4 pair, and my mom wear them on a little necklace.
But people want those, don't they?
Oh, that's like a big deal. That's why I've never sold any of my rings or my gold pants because that's like something I really, I adore those. Like those. I mean, I work hard for those.
But people do.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, you get some guys who get rid of them.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in a hard situation
When
and
you
that's
guys
all
have
you
the
got,
cash,
yeah.
exactly.
I mean,
What? So how many games did you miss?
6.
How bad? How awful was that?
It
Did you
hurt.
go to the
Was
games?
that your
No.
senior?
You can't go to the
Senior year.
games?
Senior year.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's rough.
This is
Yeah.
the big year for you.
So my junior year was my big year, and I was actually.
I mean, should have been the big year for you.
Yeah.
You
So-
go over 1,000 yards your junior year, right?
Yeah, my junior year, I rushed for like 1,200 yards, 16 touchdowns. I was actually going to the draft, and when all this stuff happened, they had to come back to school.
Really?
Oh, you
Yeah.
had to.
Yeah, we talk about that.
Okay. Yeah. Because what I'm saying is, because a lot of guys look.
Had to
I
as
remember-
in they wouldn't draft me, or had to as in I had to?
Had to, as in, I had to. Like Ohio State said, look, you
jerk, come back.
You coming back, or it's it wasn't gonna be all right.
Huh. I remember when I was living on, I was in USC, football was getting hit with all the stuff. And Pete Carroll, I don't know the guy, and I don't want to talk about it. Obviously as a coach, he's very successful and a very good coach, but I'm not a fan of the guy because when everything was coming to Brown, he skipped town. When House of Cards was falling down, and he set it up, everyone knew he was on doing the okie doke.
Right.
But look, they had one time USC had the top 5 running backs in the country. How much playing time can you get?
He owned that town.
He owned it, man.
All the LA teams, or anything, he owned that town.
We didn't. Well, LA at that time, they still had They had the Raiders at that time. Well, the Raiders were gone. Actually, the Raiders were gone. So we didn't have the pro team at the time. They were the pro team. And the Chargers were still in San Diego. My point being is, he's a rah-rah guy. And then when things went down, look, all I'm saying is the coach should say, look, if I did this, those are my boys. And if I knew, I try to talk them out of it. I try to say it's wrong. But they wouldn't listen to me. Am I going to rat them out? I ain't going to rat my kids out.
Right.
I ain't rat nobody out. I love them kids. Then people say, bravo. But when you got a coach who says, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Everyone knows you don't.
Yeah. When you're a teacher and leader of men.
Everybody. I know coaches.
They
know everything that's going on.
Because they got guys that you might not even know that's going walking around and making sure guys aren't doing certain stuff. Right. So, like you say, coaches know.
Of course.
They know what's going on.
Just tell my kids, I ain't rat nobody out. Those are my guys.
Did Coach Tressel get a raw deal?
Yeah, absolutely. He did. I mean, he didn't deserve anything that happened. That's why Tress is my guy. I mean, right. He's we put him in a hard position, and he had to do what he had to do. And it makes me feel bad.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of the days, But he's doing great things now. I think he's doing something that he enjoys, and I've been up there to visit him at YSU, and I love what he's doing now. I would love to see him still be coaching, but obviously he's doing something different that he enjoys and he likes.
Would you take it back and not do what you did, considering you missed those games, your stats are down, and you get picked in the 6th round, as opposed to 1,200 yards and maybe getting picked in the 2nd, 3rd?
Would I take it back?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, some people don't have regrets. Some people say I was in a spot.
Obviously, you could see.
I was in a spot.
But I'm saying, I'm going to explain that. I think he says, if you could say people, if you wrong and you got jammed up, you said
sure.
But if you said the same situation and they were offering me the money, I need the money, I'd probably do the same thing.
Right. That's the question I'm asking.
I think that's what it means.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you think, because you did time, you think,
10 years younger.
Or you don't think and you don't think of the ramifications.
Right. I mean, I was honestly, I wasn't thinking about the consequences at all. I honestly didn't really know I was doing something that bad or that wrong.
I'm sure you weren't the first one to do it.
Memorabilia, because they're doing the universities. Why not you? Let me get them paid from my name.
Let me get a piece of the pie, right?
Yeah. And how many number 1 jerseys were in those stands? Of course, how many number 1 jerseys were on the team? Seems like there's 6 number 1s on the on the roster.
Well, when I was in school, it was just 1, and then my senior year, we had 2 because there was another senior that wanted to change his number to number 1, which is I was so mad. Which is the same reason Malcolm Jenkins, he wore number 2.
Yeah.
And when I came my freshman year and I got 2, he hated me.
Really?
Oh, he hated me. I would say it was we're on the sideline and I would stand by him. He'd be like, "Man, get away from me, man, get away from me, man."
Too many 2s.
Oh man, he was so upset. And then I understood it my senior year because it was like, oh, now I see what you mean.
And then you weren't even playing.
Yeah.
So what'd you do on game day?
We just worked out. Like most of the time, so it was 6 of us. Myself, Terrell Pryor, Mike Adams, DeVere Posey, Solomon Thomas, and Jordan. There's one other guy. But
That's a who's who.
We would work out in the morning, and then we would just meet up somewhere and watch the game.
Really?
Yeah, I remember we had went somewhere. I think we went to like a bar or something, and it was like all over social media. Like,
these guys are out.
The guys are out. I'm like, wow. So it was like we had like a spotlight on us like at all times. We couldn't even go nowhere. But in those 6 weeks, we couldn't go to the game, so it was like we had to go somewhere. Mm-hmm. You know, we didn't really want to just sit in the house. I mean, after that happened, then we was like, man, we just all gonna meet up at somebody's house and we just watch the game at the house because clearly we can't do nothing without everybody having something to say or, you know.
Let's jump forward now to the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, you performed well enough in the last 6 games or 7 games to get the eyes of the pros. You get drafted by Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people don't understand how significant it is for a guy to get drafted to Bigs, man, for how many thousands and thousands of people play and never get that opportunity.
Yeah. Did you think 6th round? Or what were you and your people thinking?
So my junior year, I had a grade to go between 2nd and 4th round. So I knew with everything that had happened with me missing 6 games, it was gonna hurt my stock. I didn't run well. I didn't have like a really good combine though, so I didn't run well. Pro day I ran very good. So that's like the big deal at the combine. You got to run fast at the combine. So that was like another thing that I think that kind of hurt my stock. But I was thinking no later than, you know, I just knew I was going like 4th, 5th round, at least 5th round. Mm-hmm. So when they left the 5th round, I was like, I ain't about to get drafted.
Which sometimes isn't bad.
Yeah.
Because then you can pick where you're going to go.
Yeah, exactly. But in my mind, I was kind of crushed because it was like, man, it's an ego thing. It's an ego thing.
Course. As an athlete, you got to have that big ego. You got to have it to be successful.
Because I seen some guys that, you know, that went to other schools. They were getting drafted. I think we had 3 running backs going the 1st round. So I'm like, yes, like,
they're coming off the board.
We coming, you know. So the 2nd round go, 3rd round go. So I'm like, all right, we in the 3rd round, like something gonna happen. 4th round go.
Now we're on day 3.
Man, now we on day 3. I'm like, oh my God. And it says, so you know, like I got people coming over.
Yeah.
You know,
you having a party?
I didn't really have a party, but you know,
well, sure.
When you about to get drafted, everybody want to be around.
Yes,
you know. So I had a lot of people coming in and out of the house, man. It got to the point where it got to the 6th round. I think I just went outside and just sat out by the tree by myself, man. And finally,
in Warren?
Yeah, I was in Warren.
Uh-huh.
So finally, the phone call come. Cincinnati picked me. It was pick 192 or 191. Sorry, 191 in the 6th round. And even though I was upset, I still cried because it was like, you know, to be from a small town like Warren, Ohio, from people telling me, you know, you never play at Ohio State, to go to Ohio State, to everything that happened at Ohio State, to finally get drafted, you know, it was like, wow, like this is what it's all. This is what it all came down to, you know. And I cried. I was happy. My family was, you know, obviously excited and crazy.
And it's close.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't Denver or whatever, you know.
Yeah. And honestly, I thought the Houston Texans was going to draft me.
Really?
Because I actually played in the Senior Bowl, and when I was at the Senior Bowl, I met with them, and then when I was at the Combine, we had a individual meeting. It was their GM, their head coach. So I'm like, man, they really interested. I'm thinking in my head like I'm going to Houston,
mm-hmm.
But instead my boy DeVere Posey, he ended up getting drafted to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, man, DeVere there now? Like, hopefully they draft me too. And it ended up being Cincinnati. And I was I was thankful for my time there. You know, had a lot of fun there. But I really loved it when I went to the Colts because they were the first team to give me like a real opportunity. Like when I was in Cincinnati, they were still kind of deep in the backfield. I had that little injury when I first got there, so it's kind of like, you know, I already got drafted in the 6th round, so I'm missing practices already. It's like, that's not good, you know. So, and I finally got on the field. I kind of proved myself, and then, you know, there's always guys. You can never take that break, man, because there's always that one guy, two guys out there that's grinding, that they're going to end up drafting or they're going to end up signing, because the NFL. And I always try to tell people the NFL stands for not for long.
It's true.
I
Because
thought it was the no fun league.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Too, right?
Because when I say it's the most cutthroat league, I mean, if you're not doing well for them right now, it's either they cutting you or they bringing another guy in. Every Tuesday is tryout time for NFL teams. So on Tuesdays is the day they're bringing a group of guys in. During the season, every Tuesday, they're bringing somebody in that they're working out to take somebody's position in that 53-man roster. There's
right.
50,
or even the practice squad.
Or even the practice squad. I seen a guy get cut literally almost every week and get signed back.
Really? What a roller coaster.
For like 6 weeks. So just imagine trying to find, you know.
Find a rhythm.
Find a rhythm, but even trying to find a place, like, all right, am I going to be here? Should I get
find a comfort zone?
Or a place
should
to rent.
Right. Should I get an apartment? Should I bring my car here? Like, it's like, okay, so I have my car, and all the way, thank God I only went up the road to the Colts. I was able just to drive there, but I seen a guy who literally got signed, got his car shipped, all his belongings from like California to the Colts. As soon as his stuff got there, they released him. So he's there with a car, nowhere to live. Because obviously, when you first sign to a team, they put you in a hotel for like a week or two until you find like somewhere to stay. You sign a contract, to go live somewhere, and then they cut you like that. It's like. So
what I want to ask you about your first touchdown, that one that was almost 50 yards for the Colts, right? Was that your first?
So I had one. So I had one in action
in a game.
Yeah. So
because you blocked a punt that made the news.
Yeah.
And then they around here, like if you're around here, they showed the touchdown.
Oh yeah. So my first touchdown, we were playing the Redskins, and that's when I started getting my rhythm. And once you get your rhythm, man, you feel like you're unstoppable. So I was getting my rhythm, and they called, I forgot what play it was, but they called, I think it was a dive, like 32 dive. And, man, I had to make one cut, and all I had to do was run to go score a touchdown, man. When I got in the end zone, it was just like, wow, this is it.
Was that in Indianapolis or on the road?
It was in Indianapolis.
Okay, so the place goes crazy.
The place goes crazy. Everybody. So whenever I used to have a big run, or make a catch, or score a touchdown, the whole stadium would be like, boom.
Right.
So they started doing that. So I felt like I was in college again. So I'm like, oh, it's time to go now.
Did you spike it? Did you keep the ball?
I kept the ball. I kept it. Yeah,
you didn't throw it into the stands or do a dance?
Well, Mike, it's still like the old saying. Act like you've done it. Act like
Trust,
you've been there before.
They get paid to do dances now.
Hey,
like you get there before.
So Coach McD was the first person to tell me that when I got to college. Coach Tressel used to tell me the same thing. You know how Coach Tressel is. You better not be doing none of that extra stuff. This is a team.
Yeah.
Hey.
One of the guys who do that, you're like, well, okay, brother, then you plan on doing it again now.
Right.
Act like you've done it before.
Yeah.
So I get it. I mean, but I remember growing up. They had all the dance. Billy White Shoes Johnson was the best.
Yeah. Well, then the Ohio State guys back when you were a kid, they were taking off their helmets after first downs, and then they had to get rid of that.
It was one guy that did that.
Who was it, Kenyon Rambo or
it was
Joey Galloway?
Joey Galloway.
Yeah.
And I remember I seen it. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, which was legal. At the time.
It was. Hey, but I must say, it was wrong, but it looked so cool.
Then they had the gloves. Remember all the gloves and stuff?
We got in trouble for that when cause we had the Buckeye lease on our gloves.
Oh, they threw a penalty on you guys, didn't they?
So we used to throw the gloves up, but that was like, are you serious? Like,
Who called you Boom? I don't know. How come I don't know the story? Do you know the story?
No, I was going to ask you. How did
Am I the only one that doesn't know?
Hey,
no, I was curious.
So I've heard.
Or did you call you Boom?
No,
okay.
It wasn't me.
I've
I've heard a million stories. So I heard it was. I heard I fell down the steps. I rode down the steps.
Well, how old were you?
A kid.
Yeah.
And I when I got down to the bottom of the step, I said boom. So then they said that was one of the stories. So then Little League football, I was told. Obviously I was one of those guys, super physical. I was playing for the Warren Little Browns. I used to always try to. It could be a wide open hole. I was trying to run into somebody. Like I was always trying to run people over and everything. So then they say everybody was calling me Boom from that. So basically, I've had this name since I was like 8 years old.
Or maybe before.
Yeah, before.
Yeah.
And it honestly stuck with me through high school. And then when it went to Ohio State, that's when it kind of like blew up because that's when I used to make big plays. Everybody boom. Then it went to the league with me. It was like now a lot of people don't even know my real name is. So
when you sign stuff, do you put the Boom on it?
I do.
Okay,
yeah, I do. Because a lot like I said, that was like my so I had a card deal when I first got into the NFL. I had a card deal with Panini, and they told me like you have to sign Boom Herron.
Really?
You can't sign because nobody knows who Daniel Herron is.
How about that?
You know, so.
Or I read this on my show. Can you put the Boom? I go. That's part of my name. I always do. I saw it. I always put Ray. Boom.
Yeah.
Well, just put Boom, man. No. Ray is part of it, man. You got to do the whole thing. It takes 3 letters. 3, but I was because I'm glad you asked because I was going to ask you that because for me, people always say, "How'd you get the name Boom?" I said, my father was a fighter in the 30s and 40s. 1939, he went from Youngstown, New York. First fight in New York. Promoter looks to a writer, says, "Look at this guy, does nothing but keep coming, throwing punches, boom, 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 all the time."
Oh, okay.
Next day, Lenny Boom Boom Mancini. And it stuck with him. So I was Boom Boom long before I was a fighter. I was a little Boom Junior. Even when I played football, Boomer, Boomer, they call me Boom. So I was Boom long before I was a fighter. But I thank God I had the style that was, that was
you got to bring the Boom to have a name,
yeah,
right?
You got the name. There's a reason they don't call me Boom.
Right.
That's why.
But it was cool. But most people, like you just said, we talked earlier, most people don't know my first name.
Yeah.
I get down what is your first name?
Right.
'Cause, Raymond. But if I called, like I said, if I called and asked, I said, Raymond Mancini. I don't call Boom Boom Mancini. I don't do that.
And it's funny when you tell somebody that actually know you, or know people around you, you be like, "My name's Daniel Herron." They be like, "Oh, you're Boom Herron." I'm like, "No, first of all, I'm Daniel Herron. Yes, my nickname is Boom Herron."
But it's funny because a lot of people say, I said it's all part of me. It's this. It's the same. What do you feel comfortable? They say, "What do I call?" I said, "Whatever you're comfortable at."
Yeah.
Ray, Raymond, Boom Boom, whatever's comfortable.
Yeah.
It's all part of me. It ain't no thing.
Well, tell the folks what you're doing now.
So now. Once I got done playing, my first thing I started doing was I got into the trucking business. So
What business to get into?
Yeah. So
why was that? It's opportunity.
It was opportunity, and I just wanted to keep on making good money. It was good money in it. I did my homework on it.
Yep.
So I first started off doing the car hauling. So I started off doing that, and I started very small. I bought a dually truck. Got like a 4-car trailer, and then I just kept on.
Were you doing it yourself? Like you were doing the hauling? Oh, okay.
No. So I
don't
even
just checking.
I don't even know how to drive stick. So
you be both.
So
be both.
So I hired some drivers. Started my own LLC, got it going, and then I got into the pipe and steel. So then I started doing pipe and steel. And then I also made a couple more investments down in Columbus. I invested in a bar and a restaurant. And I got a lot of stuff going on. So
I guess.
That's great.
Young entrepreneur.
Diverse.
Yeah.
Portfolio. You talk to the master of that, right?
You got to diversify yourself. You want to have different income sources.
Right.
That's what people don't understand. You got to be income, whatever. The main thing is, when you're playing ball, but you have other things going on. And I have fun with it, But I miss more than I hit.
Oh, yeah.
But that's okay. But the hits have been pretty good, so it's okay. You know.
Well, you got to take chances.
You got to take shots. Got to take shots.
You got to take shots.
What's
that's
and
what
you're doing a podcast now?
Yeah. So,
what's it
then
called?
I got to do yours.
Boom and Beanie.
I got to do it.
Man, we
I'd
definitely
be
want to have you
honored.
come on. So, Beanie and The Boom podcast.
Is that what it is?
Then I'll be on Beanie
Oh.
Boom and Boom Boom.
Yeah. So look, we're gonna get that scheduled where you're gonna come on our show.
I'll be honored to.
So we usually shoot every Wednesday. So tomorrow we're shooting tomorrow. We're actually shooting. We have our own studio downtown, but we're actually shooting at Roosters tomorrow.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of those down there.
On Olatangi at 1:00 tomorrow. So it should be fun. We usually have a visitor every week. If not, we usually just do us. But it's been a lot of fun because I try to tell people. We're those guys. We're not gonna be like the Ohio State. We're gonna we're keeping it real.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna tell it how it is. So we obviously cover Ohio State football, and then we talk about all sports. We like to talk about the Browns. Like to talk about basketball. We talk about everything.
That's what I was saying. Now, see, when I do commentary, one day, people say I like my comment. I said, because look, be next fight. If you stink to join out, I'm calling you out. You stink to join out. So I'm sure you do it for you guys. If a guy ain't balling like he's supposed to,
Right.
Come on, man. You got the big contract.
Yeah.
Ball out or
exactly.
sit out.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was the one thing. Like fighters, man. No, man. I'm a lover of fighters.
Right.
I'm a fight fan. I love. But if you stink to join out, you ain't doing your job. When you're on TV, you have an obligation to get the fans the best fight possible.
Exactly.
Which reminds me, Ryan, we'll talk later about the fight that was this past weekend, which I didn't see
Right.
because I don't get
Yet he
Fox
still wants to
because
talk
I'm
about
on Direct TV, and you better do something because I'm dumping Direct TV. I'm dumping you. I gotta go. I can't get
They don't
Fox.
get or the CBS, right?
They gotta get you
I got to. No, I'm gonna call because look, I've been on. I watch shows on CBS. So CBS
it's
and
the
Fox.
local station. It's not DirecTV.
What?
The local station and the cable provider has the contract.
Direct better do something.
Get them together.
With
Get them
man.
together.
You better do something about that because Direct they have it. If I don't get it, you're out. Anyhow.
And if you out, then I'm out too.
it.
And if we out, he out too.
I'm
so
out.
Direct, y'all better get it together.
See, look, so you get to do your show with Beanie Wells, right?
Yeah.
It's the Beanie
That's
and
my-
Boom show, right?
yeah.
And look who I get to do it with.
Wait, I was just going to
No.
ask him: is your podcast almost as good as this,
No,
or as
teasing.
good as this?
Man.
You're the best, man. Mike, you're the best.
First off, this podcast is super legit, man. It's a great setup. It's very professional, man.
appreciate
I
it.
really,
I
I really enjoy it. Ours is the same. I mean, like you said, you want to give the fans something that they really want to
it.
listen to.
No,
something.
Mike's he's the entertaining.
I
Oh,
can
yeah,
take
yeah.
it. I can take it.
He's
Yeah.
entertaining.
All right, well, let's get some.
One thing, real fast. Correct me if I'm wrong. I tell people this all the time. I said every football player should be kissing the ass of Kirk Cousins, because nobody got the guaranteed contract. It was all the signing bonus, right? The brother got
That guy
guaranteed
got
full.
stupid
Everybody's
money.
the big, and he, and people
Stupid money.
And I think the guy could play. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna get somebody to a title, but brother could play.
Yeah.
But everybody should be kissing his ass because he was supposed to guarantee it. Kirk Cousins get it. Yo, I'm getting mine.
Oh, what?
And all these guys, and so I tell people they should be thanking him.
Yeah.
That he did that, and Minnesota for giving him the contract.
I agree. He is one of the first guys to do like the guaranteed thing, because
Full contract guaranteed.
a lot of guys, I've seen some guys get some bad deals done. I mean, it's very bad.
On paper looks good.
on paper.
Paper
Mr.
looks great.
Claret got a bad
Oh
deal.
man, so
Bad deal.
You got to make sure, especially in football, you got to get as much guarantee up front
Right.
as possible.
That's why they told me, correct me if I'm wrong, where you got drafted, was imperative, because from 1 through 10 you were getting X amount for signing bonus.
They slot 'em.
Every time you go down, the signing bonus get less and less, right? That's why it was, to me. But if you can play, don't mean you can play.
Exactly.
A lot of that's why you get guys coming in there or walk-ons or late or like you say, if you don't get drafted, you could sign wherever you want. Guys come on and whipping your ass because they want to play.
Yeah.
And they'll do whatever it takes. They'll bite your nose off
Oh,
to get the
absolutely.
opportunity.
Absolutely.
And all these guys who are getting these high draft picks, signing big signing bonuses, they ain't putting out like this shit because whatever reason they want to, for fear of getting hurt or whatever. And I'm thinking, man, I like the guys I want the dogs that are hungry, man.
Yeah.
I want the dogs.
Well, a
that are
lot of them are trying. From the guys I talk to, fringe guys, they try to get that pension. They try to get. How many years you got to go now in the NFL?
I think it's
Is
3
it
years.
5 or 3?
So it used to be 5 and 3 now.
But a lot of guys are just trying to play anything. Special teams
and why
doesn't
not?
matter.
Why not?
I want to get that
Why not?
pension.
Well, that was my thing. I said, you know,
you got the 5, so you got
yeah. I will play special teams until y'all kick me.
Till my head falls off.
Because I honestly, I enjoyed it though. You know, I enjoyed, you know, playing a lot of special teams because it's like, you know, as a starting running back, you are taking shots to the head and shots. I mean, you getting banged up.
Right.
So, you know, I always said I wanted to play a lot of special teams, and I would have loved to play 10 years being a backup running back because longevity. And I could keep making money.
That's
you know?
right.
Yeah.
What's the best? What they say? What's the best position in football?
Backup quarterback.
That's
My
right.
man. That's right. My man, Nick Foles. But he can play.
Man,
Cousin
he
can
can
play
play.
one.
But
All
he can
those
play.
guys.
But he ain't trying to worry about now. Carson's
man.
our quarterback. Because now he went to the Jags, which it made him legit. Because the Jags had a good defense. Their offense was
But
But
he got a lot of guaranteed money, though.
Yeah, he
but-
did.
but he's proven himself. I think.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And right, but I think he can. Look, I'm all about it now. I think you know the great quarterbacks of the John Elways and Dan Marino's and Johnny United, all the guys from way back. I mean, look, all you want is a guy who can manage the team, man. Manage the game. Don't turn it all. Don't turn it over. Get you that
Especially
four
the backups.
That's
Especially
it.
the
Don't
backups.
turn the ball over. And let your defense do it. Hey, Peyton Manning, when he won the last Super Bowl when he retired, he knew that. His body was breaking down.
Oh, man.
He just managed the game. Let your defense do it.
That's all he did. Because
At that last season,
if you look at that game,
he didn't do nothing.
he threw some horrible passes. Like it was just bad.
Well, yeah, but
But he got the ring, though.
But he managed the game.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what he was great
Yeah,
at.
yeah,
But
yeah.
anyway,
right.
Mike,
Wait, can I ask him a couple
please,
more
please,
things?
please,
Because
please.
now he's doing a sports show and he has sports takes. So just finish these phrases. You ready?
Oh man,
All right.
don't put me on the spot like
No,
that.
this is easy. Ohio State football at the end of the year will be, don't give me a record, just tell me how they'll do this year. Will be what? Big Ten champs in the playoffs, second in the Big Ten, not going to make it to the
National
playoffs.
champs.
You know, what's
Yeah.
so crazy. I mean, it's crazy that you asked me this because I told Beanie last week on the show.
Exactly. I'm promoting the show.
You know, I told him last week, and he was like, "Are you like?" I said, "I think we're going undefeated this year."
Okay.
Maybe I'm Buckeye brainwashed.
So you're counting the playoffs or the regular season?
I think that we will go undefeated through the season. We will win the Big Ten, and then whatever happens in the playoffs happens in the playoffs, and we go to the national championship. We win national championship. You know.
Okay.
I think we make the playoffs this year, basically.
All right.
I think we go undefeated. We don't play Purdue this year.
Right.
So
There's no real tough games
Yeah.
till
I
the
don't,
end.
And then I know everybody
Cincinnati.
say it's a new coach, it's a new quarterback. I watched what Ryan Day did
With
last
Dwayne
year
Haskins.
with the first three games,
Mhm.
and love Urban Meyer as he was a coach at Ohio State, but I really felt like we were playing very, very loose and very like guys were having fun and guys were relaxed those first 3 games. Then when Urban kind of came back, I think everybody kind of like it was like
the Sphinx are puckered up.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It could have been. That could have been.
So
Like
I
my,
really
like my description
Yeah,
there.
they
whatever.
don't say that on college football game day,
Right.
but
I
we
really
know you.
like what Coach Day has brought to the table.
Mhm.
I like what he did with the coaching staff. You know, he brought some new guys in. It's kind of crazy. He did bring two new guys from the other side, from Michigan.
That is crazy.
But if you look, they didn't play good against us. Their defense didn't play good against us, but they played well against everybody else. You know, I think they were ranked in the top 5 defense last year.
Number one.
Yeah, so I really like what we have going on right now, and I think we can go undefeated during the regular season.
All right.
What's the second
Finish this
Sorry.
first. I have 3. This will be number 2.
Okay.
The Cleveland Browns will blank.
Man. And I say they win 9 to 10 games.
Division
Exactly
champs?
what I was
Division
thinking. Huh?
champs or second fiddle? Maybe wild card.
Playoff. I'm just gonna say wild card.
I think they definitely go to the playoffs. It's just everybody that conference is not an easy conference.
No.
No.
The top three are good.
And just because we got all these guys, if they don't put all that together, don't mean nothing.
Well, if they don't put together, it's going to be nuts.
Yeah. So, but I think the head coach Kitchens is Kitchen, right?
Yeah.
I think he got his hands full, man, because he got a lot of talent over there, and if he doesn't, bring a 10 win season or a playoff berth this year, it's going to be like this. It was a failure. Off season was a failure because we signed all these guys, bring all these guys in, and the same stuff is still going on. But in my personal opinion, I think they will turn it around because I think they got a lot of positive guys there now.
Right.
They got guys who are kind of used to winning, guys who have some experience, and I can honestly say I wasn't a huge fan of Baker Mayfield when he first got to Cleveland. I definitely wasn't a fan because when he beat us at Ohio State,
and he put the flag in there. I know.
But we're gonna let that. We ain't gonna let it slide.
Right.
But
he did chug a beer though the other day. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. So I think he's a winner.
He's a winner. Right.
Okay.
He's a baller, man, and he's a
winner.
He got the great attitude, and you gotta love that.
All right, last one. Since you're a Buckeye, since you're a running back, and since he said today he will not play without a contract, Ezekiel Elliott will what?
Well, from what Jerry said the other day, he said all three of those guys will get paid.
I was going to say, get paid. That's the word I was going to say.
Should he bend, or should he stick to, I want to get paid, or I'm not playing this year?
He got to stick to it.
At this point, he's just too far down.
Honestly, I don't think Zeke is wrong for holding out because without him playing, that team is totally different. Even Dak Prescott, he can't be Dak Prescott without Ezekiel Elliott.
How does this work? Does Dak Prescott? Talking about he ain't even a top 100 when they.
Because he was a fourth-round draft pick.
No, but I'm saying top 100 of this top.
Oh, the top 100 players.
He wasn't even top 100.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, and it's just, well, if that's the case, and whether it's true or not, it proves that Ezekiel Elliott is the straw that stirs that drink.
Oh, man, everybody knows that.
Yep.
And I honestly think Jerry's just trying to prove something right now. Obviously, we all know Zeke has had a couple issues off the field, but
is that hurting him?
I think it's playing.
Or are they using that to say that they don't feel?
I think they're definitely using it.
Yeah,
they're gonna always try to use something so they don't got to pay you.
But then you better better than me. But I've also, just being around guys, being around things. Let me tell you, character is a big thing.
Yeah,
you gotta have character. Content in your character.
Well, it helps.
Big, but it helps. But if you could ball, they say, "Well, we're overlooking that he's got some short," and that's what these colleges have done through the years and some of the pro teams. But I'm telling you right now, man. It's about character because guys like Jerry, Jerry World, he's got Jerry's World down there.
That's his world too.
And I've been down there, and that stadium is something.
It's a circus.
And
I've seen the stadium.
But what
it's
I'm
like
saying is,
it is.
But you got to have a certain when you're representing America's team or whatever you want to call it, then you better have strong character.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't,
spotlight.
Yeah, if you don't, then your ass is going to be
they'll
shipped
find
out,
you.
or you ain't you're gonna play for me, but you're gonna play what I.
I'll tell you what though. If Jerry don't pay him, somebody else will.
That's right.
So I think he will pay him. And Zeke, did he have some issues earlier in his career? Yes. Has he grown? Yes, he has. That's my brother. I support him, and I think he did. I think he does deserve to get paid. Has his character grown? Yeah, I think it has. I think he's learned from what he has done, and I think he deserves to get paid.
Man.
I mean, the guy has had 3 great years, and he deserves to get paid.
But he's probably number 1 running back in the NFL right now.
He's
maybe
top,
Bell.
He's top 3.
Yeah.
The runner. You got guys like what's the guy from the Rams?
Gurley. There's Le'Veon Bell.
No, but then
Saquon. He's good.
Saquon probably is the best overall running back in the league right now, far as can do everything.
But you'd take Zeke though, wouldn't you?
All right.
He can pick up a blitz better than anybody.
Hey, if I had to start a team right now, Zeke could do everything that Saquon can do. I think those guys are definitely two top.
There you go.
I won't say who's one or two. I think those guys are they got a God-given talent that they've been blessed with, and they work their butts off, and they're some great athletes.
Yeah,
Mel Gordon better get in.
There's another one.
He better sign and
he
get
going,
man. Cause
less leverage.
Have they offered him anything yet?
No.
I don't know what the
Not
offer
yet.
is. Or if they're just sticking to what they did offer. What the offer is, I don't know. So
Yeah, because he's good, but he's not like
he ain't Gurley,
he ain't no Gurley.
and he ain't
even Kareem Hunt.
We didn't even get into that.
No.
I didn't even ask you about that.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Anyhow, well, we just try.
Hey, look, we're gonna do a part 2. All right,
We gotta do a part
We're
2.
gonna do a
This is
part
too
2.
good.
You come home.
Just
We didn't even get to talk about the football camp.
We got to.
We'll promote the football camp next time.
Do we?
Does that sound good?
Please, I'd love to have you
Yeah.
back. I'll come on your show. That'd be a done deal.
Look, I'm gonna come back on your
I
show.
appreciate it.
I want you to come on the show.
I appreciate that.
We will have a part 2, people.
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm looking
Yes.
forward to it.
Mike, we got.
I'm not coming on his show. I'll stick to this.
Yeah,
show.
What do you
want
think?
you
We're
to come
tag
too.
team.
Yeah, I know.
We're not a tag team.
No. He didn't invite
Only
me.
on this
Maybe
show.
for a later show. Why do I got to share the billing with you all the time? Maybe I have some hot takes, buddy.
Hey.
I have some anecdotes from my childhood, too. Want to hear about my football career in high school? I'll tell you all about it. Go ahead. Talk about your fight that you didn't even watch and still have to talk
Double
about.
tap real fast. The fight was Saturday night. I talked about it last week. I was in the studio. I went out there. We did the studio show and found out. We did the weigh-in show. We did the press conference show on Thursday, weigh-in show on Friday. And found out we weren't going to do a studio show, so I took the red eye out Friday night. Got home Saturday. To find out that I couldn't see the fight because I got DirecTV, who doesn't have Fox or CBS.
Let them
We're
have
getting
it.
rid of DirecTV. Better do something about it.
Oh, you know when
Come
they're
on, man.
You know when they're gonna do something about it? Right about the end of August when football starts on Fox and CBS.
Yeah, well, you got.
I bet it gets taken care of
My
then.
wife don't get a chance to see me because on Fox, and not that she wants to see me,
Not
but
that
she's
much, from what
she'd
I've
rather
seen.
watch, some woman show, girl show. But anyhow,
Flip some
anyhow,
houses.
but she can if she wanted to.
Great.
Oh man,
It'll
no,
get done.
I thought I was home myself. I'm gonna watch the fight. Found out I couldn't watch the fight.
Yeah.
And it was great. So anybody who saw the fight, we talked about it last week. I said that Adam Kovnowski from Poland and Chris Ariola from East LA would be a fight of the year candidate. And by all inclinations, it is. They went 12 rounds. They threw over 1,200 punches. Both guys threw over 600 punches. See, people say, "Oh, that's great." I said, "Well, I used to throw 1,200. I used to throw over 1,300 a fight for me, only by myself. So I don't know. I guess together that's a good. For heavyweights, yes. I'm not knocking.
It's good.
I'm not knocking. For heavyweights, it's very big because they're busy. So both guys threw punches and bunches. They stood toe to toe in the middle of the ring. Went 12 rounds, and all indication was a great fight. Fight of the year candidate. Adam Kovnowski got the win. On the other two fights, we were talking. Marcus Brown from Brooklyn, who was an Olympian on the 2012 Olympic team along with Errol Spence, came in. He was champion fighting Jean Pascal, former light heavyweight champ. And at the press conference, it got a little bit, it was interesting, man. They got a little snarky with each other. Well, Pascal wound up beating him.
No kidding.
Beating him, beating Marcus Brown. So Marcus Brown was, the one agitating most of it. He was agitating. He got beat. And then the other fight the opening fight was Curtis Stevens and Wale Amatosa. Wale Amatosa is from Nigeria. They call him Lucky Boy because he's one of the Lucky Boys that are there. I seen him fight. Hard as they come. Got a heart as big as this room. Keeps coming. Fought Curtis Stevens. Again, a lot of it was interesting. They both got a little froggy at the press conference. Amatosa stopped him. Beat him. So
what's this set up now?
So now, look, boxing's better than ever, man. Boxing's better than ever. PBC, we control the welterweights, we control the super middleweights, and we control the heavyweight division now. And there's just so many good fights going on. Boxing's getting back to the same popularity it once had. And I said, without network television, we never would. Now with network television, and it's at least a 4-year deal that Fox is in it for 4 years, and hopefully longer. It's just a great opportunity for these fighters to become stars. Like when I fought, people look. I got recognized by people I never. I was exposed to over 60 million people domestically, over 100 million people worldwide. Not that they all watched it, but I'm just saying those are people we had the exposure to.
Mm-hmm.
So network television now is putting boxing back onto the forefront. Network television, and it's a wonderful thing. So anyhow,
you got one this week or no?
But no, not this week. Next week I'll be going on the following week. I'll be on FS1 in Edinburgh, Texas.
Okay.
Edinburgh doing commentary, but not this week. I'll be home.
All right.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, please do.
Besides yourself, who's the best fighter to step in the ring?
No, and I appreciate.
And did you ever watch him fight?
No, I don't. I would never say. I never call myself. Look, I'm like yourself.
You're
great
nice though.
guy.
I mean,
I appreciate that. Very kind of you. No false modesty. No false modesty.
Yeah.
I never consider myself a great fighter. I mean, I had great moments.
Yeah.
I had great fights.
Yeah.
For me, longevity.
Yeah.
Talks about greatness.
Right.
Look, a lot of guys play. Had a great season, had a great year, but their career, whatever. But they were still, they had good backs, good players. I was a good fighter who had great moments. I was honored when I got inducted into the Hall of Fame because I'll never forget when a reporter called me to tell me I got selected. I said to him, "This is what I told you." I said, "I never considered myself great. I thought I had great moments, great fights." But he said, "No, I disagree." He said, it wasn't the quantity of your fights; it was the quality of your fights. He said, "You deserve to be there." I said, "I'll take it."
Yeah.
So I'm honored by that. But I look, no, I mean, I fought a time with Ray Leonard. Ray was probably the greatest fighter of my generation. Good dear friend.
Any
of
weight
mine.
Class?
At that time, yes. Roberto Duran, one of the greatest lightweight, and greatest of all time. He fought. But Duran was the greatest in the 70s, but in the 80s he was still great to come on and still win 2 more world titles, to beat Ray for the title, to beat and Iran Barkley for the beat Davey Moore for the junior middleweight, to beat Iran Barkley for the super middleweight. Here's a guy who started at lightweight. He was as strong as a middleweight when he was a lightweight. So I knew Tommy Hearns, Marvin Hagler, all the Aaron Pryor, Lex Arguello, Hector Camacho, so many great fighters in my era. I was very honored to be just part of that, But the greatest fighter of all time is Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
Muhammad Ali is the greatest fighter,
Okay.
and because heavyweights, boxing goes to the heavyweights goes, and he's the greatest heavyweight.
I always wanted to get an actual fighter's opinion of Floyd Mayweather.
Okay. I've been asked this. I've been repeatedly. People think I'm knocking them. I've said repeatedly, greatest of the 12-round era. 12-round era. All time. Now, you have to understand, when I say all time, top 30, top 40, people go, "Oh, my God." I said, "Are you stupid? Thousands of fighters.
100 years.
Thousands of fighters.
Over 100
to say
years.
the top 30, that's a knock on him?
Yeah.
The fact that he says he's the greatest of all time, God bless him. He said, special talent, no dispute. The greatest of the 12-round era. But to go 15, could he have gone 12, 15? We don't know. We'd like to think he could, but we don't know because he never had to. And the fact look, I got my first title fight, I lost going into 14. I was winning after 12. When I lost my title, I was winning after 12. And going into 14, I got beat. So,
14
but then I went 15. Then we had to rematch with Brandon. We went 15. And I was cut from the second round, blood all over for 13 rounds. What I'm saying is, I did it. We don't know if he could do it because he never had to. So boom, special talent, special fighter. And people get angry like I'm not gonna. No, man. He learned because of Muhammad Ali. Guys like Floyd. Guys come out could make the money they met because of Muhammad Ali speaking. Muhammad Ali was an act with him though. It was an act. Everyone knows it. He was the first one to come with psychological warfare. Nobody knew that there was such a term. Ali invented that term, psychological warfare. So everyone paid to see him get beat. Floyd, because of that, was able to do it. He understood. Make a lot more money wearing the black hat than the white hat. So and he did. And I know him as a businessman. God bless him. I think special talent.
Yeah.
I know him, and I liked him. I liked him as a fighter. Don't get me wrong, but it just to me to say the greatest of all time, that's a little bit presumptuous. Nobody should call himself that. Don't say it. My father taught me, Raymond, don't ever talk about yourself.
Let others do it.
Let others do it.
And
so that's the thing.
Yeah, and then I only want to ask about the last guy,
Yes,
the big guy, Wilder.
Deontay's a good brother, man.
Yeah.
We did commentary. He was on our show when I
I seen that.
He was good, man. A good guy. I like him.
Yeah. Now, do you think he's a good boxer though? Or
Yes
or
and no.
is he just a guy that likes to take?
These guys are going to whack it.
Yeah.
He boxing. He knows how to box. He sticks out the jab.
Yeah.
But he's not a boxer. He's a fighter.
He's a street fighter.
I was a fighter. I wasn't a boxer.
Yeah.
So I love Deontay, man, because one thing that the brother's coming throwing punches,
Oh, he
and he's
throwing
looking to
them.
end him early.
Mhm.
And if you and he's
If
gonna
he
keep
catch
throwing
you,
him.
if he
And
catch you,
he'll
it's
knock that
night
wall
night.
out. Oh yeah, and it makes it fun again. And with
Right.
American heavyweight that you actually want to see.
Yeah.
He's thinking out there. He comes to take you out.
Yeah.
And he's a good guy, man.
Yeah.
So I like him. I root for him. I was a fan before because of the way he fights.
Yeah.
Big puncher. He's 6'7" too, man. You would think he's
huge.
But he sticks that jab out there. They'll set you up with that right hand and them big hooks.
Yeah.
And he's a good guy. And now we got Andy Ruiz,
Mm-hmm.
who beat Anthony Joshua, the PBC, who we're on Fox.
I can't take that serious though.
No. But I'll tell you, Andy said though, Andy can fight.
He could fight.
He can
yeah,
fight.
but it's
No. But quick hands. Some of the fastest hands I've ever hit anyway since Mike Tyson. That's what makes Andy so effective. But Andy said, hey, man, I'm manager. They're very good. They're very humble guys. He said, but I'm coming after you. I want you. And what did Adam Kovnowski say when he was been? He said, Deontay was sitting on the ring, and he said, Deontay, I want that title. I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful thing. It's a great thing that who's the champ? They want to go get. They're going after him, man.
You got to.
So to be the best, you want to fight the best.
Yeah.
To beat the best, right? So anyhow, boxing's in good shape. That's how it was. I still didn't get to see the fight, but if anybody did, and if you have a chance to look at it on YouTube, which I guess I'm gonna have to watch
Guess
it.
so.
But it's a fight of the year candidate, and I'll be talking about the next fight that I'll be doing next week. That's 2 weeks away, so
That's fine.
nobody's gonna remember. Do we have any sponsors? That mean,
Nope,
besides
we're good to go.
Don't we say we're doing it at the Avalon?
No, we don't have any sponsors yet.
Well, I'm going to say it.
No, we can talk about
We're
the
doing
Avalon if you like.
Mike says, nope, we
Hey,
don't got to. We don't got to, but we
The
shall.
Roman bath
Boom.
has water in it, and it looks fantastic.
Oh,
and
they
they're
finally got
putting
that-
and they're putting the bottom of the pool on right. They're going to have water in it by the end of the day.
But Boom
We're
said
ready
it.
to go with the
Boom,
Avalon
I
Inn.
appreciate it. Boom said this is one of the best studios he's seen.
See?
Right there, right? Here at the
Are we allowed to
Avalon.
announce the new name? Are we allowed to announce
Avalon
the new name?
Inn.
Okay. All right.
Avalon.
Ron told me there's a new name.
What is it? Avalon's.
That Ron told me it's been decided.
What is it?
All right.
Avalon Inn. Avalon.
Not anymore.
Spa. Avalon Inn and Spa.
No, it's gonna have.
What is it
it's gonna
now?
have a-
Boom, boom,
You
room.
just give me a.
I'm
Hey,
allowed to say.
what
I'm allowed
you
to say.
doing? We get the no. Avalon. Why I got a good name, Avalon. I got to do it.
We at the boom boom room.
We're here at the Avalon.
Good enough.
Avalon. Okay,
right.
man. Just Avalon. Cut. That's it.
All
All right.
That works,
Anyway.
actually.
Woo, man. I thought
Okay.
I'm doing a massage. I'm doing a massage.
No, I know.
mention him.
I know.
No. Well, however you want to phrase the term, we're at the Avalon, and it'll be Avalon something by next week, I guess. Anyhow, Boom. Can't thank you enough.
Oh, no,
Man,
pleasure.
You're a wonderful guy,
Yes,
man.
sir.
And
Thank
you're
you.
doing such good
Thank
things.
you. I
And
appreciate it.
anyhow,
Yes, sir.
thank you. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show, man. And we'd like to hear from you. Email us, text us, whatever. Let us know what your thoughts and any other future shows or what you'd like to see on future shows. Until next time, take care of each other, love each other. Good night and God bless.